Hey, what is up, guys? It is Omega HD, and I sound like Desi Martin. That's cool. Today, this is a gameplay commentary even, and my gameplay today, it's iffy. You could say the least. So basically, it is an old gameplay of mine. It's the Uzi. I go 50 for 1. It's from my underrated series, and I feel that not enough people experience this point in my life, which was epic, and I do believe I hold the record for the highest kill death ratio game on the Wii recorded for Black Ops, which is 50 for 1. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I see a lot of gameplays, and I've seen a lot of gameplays even, and this is the highest kill death ratio game I've seen. So, basically, let's kick this one off. Today I want to talk about illnesses, and I've got two in particular I want to talk about. Intermittent hydronephrosis, yes, and another one which I don't even know the name of. It's so uncommon. It's like 1 in a million. It usually happens in third world countries. But I managed to get it. You know, I'm just that awesome. I'm a 1 in a million. Anyway, let's kick this off. I'm going to talk about intermittent hydronephrosis. So, intermittent hydronephrosis. Let's break this down a bit. Intermittent happens every so often. Hydro has something to do with the water. So, water going through my body, coming out as piss. Something along those lines. And then phrosis, or I think it means blockage, closed, pressure. It's something along those lines. So you put them together, and I'll explain you what they are. So every so often, whether it's caused by stress, anxiety, nervousness, or even excitement, my kidney, well, the tube above my kidney, which leads to it, will often close, and which would cause my unprocessed piss to have to go in the opposite direction. And the opposite direction would be through my mouth. Okay, so since we got that clarified, I was throwing up my own unprocessed piss. Simple. And basically, it took doctors at least about 8 years to figure out what was wrong with me. My brother had the same thing, but on his right-hand side. And they cured him in about 2 years. Cured? It makes it sound like it's some kind of disease. Well, it is a disease, but something worse. But he got fixed. Oh my god, saying he got fixed. Alright, his kidney, he got better after 2 years. He's younger than myself. And me, it took them 8. So this pain was excruciating. It was like a stabbing through your kidney. And the kidney is situated like on your left hand side around the back of your, like the bit which curves in your hip around there. And imagine a repeated stabbing. That's what it was like. I've never experienced being stabbed, but that's how I could put it. And what they did was they cut me open, of course. But when I say they cut me open, they decided some kind of new kind of surgery for me. And this was the latest thing at the time. It was keyhole surgery. Most people have it now, but this was new breaking technology for me. And what they did, they made 3 slits. One in my belly button, one to my left hand side, up above where my kidney is, to like where the tube is, oh gosh, and one above my pelvis. And for this one, they decided to go, let's just have a little sneaky peek and see what's blocking it. And they looked around, they're like, wait, we're just going to move this vein. We'll just move this vein. It might be in a vein or an artery, I can't really tell the difference anymore. But they were like, we're just gonna move this. Maybe this is making the problem. Of course it wasn't fucking making the problem. Doctors can be the stupidest people ever. Like, this little vein apparently was causing enough pressure to close my tube going into my kidney. I think not. So basically, they sealed me up, and then 6 months to a year later, I had to come back in for another surgery. So they reopened 2 of those wounds and made a new one. And what they did, they cut out that tube, and, well, they kind of shortened it, put a synthetic tube in, and they put the old tube and connected it over that, so it offered a bit more support. And I was in hospital. I was in Great Ormond Street, which is a children's hospital. It's world renowned for being very, very good. And I was there, and one of the things they had to do was that I couldn't go to the toilet, and my kidney was probably bleeding quite heavily from the operation, and I had this tube, and this tube was evil, to say the least. It was called a catheter, and if any of you know what a catheter is, or you've had one, it's the most fucking awful thing in the world. It's basically a tube which goes up through your urethra even into your bladder, and your urethra is like the tube which is in your penis. Yes, that's the tube, and there's an anchor at the end which is like a spherical ball, which is a ball. It's a ball filled with water to anchor the thing in. And basically, it came to the point where they had to release this, where I had to go. They had to get this catheter out of my dick. And this woman called the Battle-Axe had to do it. That was her nickname for staff around there. And she wasn't ugly. She was actually fairly good looking for my 13-year-old self. I would do her. But basically, there she is. She's about to pull this tube out of my penis, and I can only explain in certain words how painful that was. And what I actually did before I did it, I asked her, and since this is children's hospital, I went, "Can I swear?" I literally asked for permission to swear, and she was like, "Yes, you can." And maybe she hears it a lot that children want to swear when they're in pain. So basically, as she pulls out this tube, whoosh, it's quick. She asked me to cough, and as I'm doing it, I'm going, "Fuck! Fuck!" That's literally the words I said, and it was like rope burn in my penis. Yes, rope burn. And if any of you experienced seriously bad rope burn, you don't want it anywhere near your penis, and that is what it was. Inside of my penis, I had rope burn. It was fucking awful. And then, just to get a bit worse, at that moment, I actually looked down at my bollock, and my left bollock is swollen. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this bollock? What are you doing? And it's swollen, I kid you not, to about the size of a tennis ball. And can I tell you why? Because I had an infection in my bollock. In my testicle, I had an infection, which was horrible. It was one that is like, imagine do you know bruises? How they're very, very sensitive. It felt like a giant bruise on my testicle, so I had to wear, I don't know what they're called, like little skimpy pants. I had to wear them, because if I let my testicle descend, like drop down a bit, it was fucking awfully painful, so it had to be like completely wrapped up against my body. And I'll tell you later, this is going to be a two-part episode, but this testicle infection leads to something else, and it's quite incredible how this has happened to me. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. I've got a couple of minutes left. What next? Oh yeah, so I had this. I said earlier that I had a synthetic tube where my old kidney tube was, and they had to get this out eventually. So to get it out, and I didn't think they would have to do this, they went up through my penis to get this tube out, and that's quite a long distance between your dick to your kidney. So they've got the little mechanical arms, the cameras, they've got everything, and it does confuse, even to this day. How do they have... Oh, no, I'm not even going to say that. Oh my god. It's because the tube of your penis isn't that big, and I think we can all admit on that. And they're trying to shove as much stuff as they can in there to get this tube out. And I'm asleep, of course. I'm not letting them do this while I'm awake. But when I came out of the surgery, I was like... Basically, I had to piss before I could go home. And the thought of having hospital food did not appeal to me. So they gave me loads and loads of water until I had to go to the toilet like I do now. I really, really need to go. And basically they forced me to piss. But when I pissed, oh my god, that was one of the most painful experiences of my life. It was on par with having a tube pulled out of my dick. And those are on par with something else, which I will explain in a later episode. And guys, that's probably one of the most awful experiences of my life. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you hate me, drop it a like so more people can hear this kind of embarrassing, painful story and they can laugh at my pain. And if you like the commentary itself, please feel free please feel free to drop it a like. Excuse the major fail at the end. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Probably tomorrow, a couple of days. I've got some work to do. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.